It's almost all over the space that Asue has been disqualified in the most brazen, uncouth misinterpretation of simple court declarations that are in the public space. When you lie to a people with the mind of making those people make uncouth judgments, it is treasonable. And he is committing a treason with our mental spaces. That must be stopped. There is no single judgment, no declaration that has even referenced. I see some of the news media, you just hear about that. Somebody that seems to have a mental dyslexia runs out of the court and you carry him without even recourse to the court CTC that is just even with you. There is nowhere that even the candidacy of the PDP, Asue and Barrister Osaudio, has been questioned. I don't say that there is no judgment. No, it has not even been questioned. It has never ever been a case for adjudication. Now, when the judge, what that man's name, Echo, came up with the judgment that he did over the delegates, it's of no consequence under the law, because the law states in section 84, subsection 84, is clear that only participants in a primary process, not those who buy form. So if you buy form like Philip Shaibu, you lack locus. You buy form, but you do it in front of your house. No, you lack locus. Number two, this is very clear. It says clearly that only the party shall decide how to run its primaries, irrespective of procedures. That is why in the failed attempt of the APC by bringing in a sitting senator who had a valid nomination against the Electoral Act in the person of Shetima, the Supreme Court said that the PDP, to even query it, that they were a busybody. I use the word busybody, it's busybodies. Because what is requested by law, Labour little or no primaries. It is not under question. It may be hurtful, it may be uncomfortable, but the law is the law. Both the spirit and letters of the law does not create a room for these serial buccaneers to even question the primaries if they did not stand at the stadium on that day to contest it. That is a matter of the fact. So now, I ask you, why is the PDP not engaged in legal squabbles with the APC when there are very open, clear grounds to do so? Because the PDP is made up of educated persons and not elemental, half-illiterate or brigands. I will explain. As a journalist, just go to the INEC portal and download the form of Monday of Biology. And it states clearly in a sworn affidavit that he was born on the 29th of August, the year of our Lord 1970. Then you see the very corresponding attachment of his WAEC certificate. It states clearly that he was born on the 29th of August 1972. But if you enter any of those dates with his Eastern Central and his ward in the INEC portal, it tells you that nobody like that exists. And yet INEC tells us they have a certification that he's a registered voter. So if you are thinking, you now say, which means none of these two dates were the dates with which he registered. So I got the boys, let's start doing number crunching. Every 29th of August in every day, in any year, we put it on the computer until we found out that it was actually registered on the 1st of August. You put 1st August 1977, Akpakomila's face will show. Which means that is the third official tranche of his registration. And he cannot be born in 3 different dates, 7 years apart. except it is and back one. Maybe the very born in hand, the compound in leg in 1972, the compound in head in 1977, whatever. But a friend of mine who is a lecturer at the university, the Canadian University, was just drinking a mini club. I said, you don't understand what Macomb is and they say 77. And I mean, I did this in primary school. Now I just used that. I said, I want to wish you the boy. He said, I still the boy shall with some months, but me I did 1965. So as a thinking person, I got my people again. Let's crunch it. If this guy went to primary school with this guy, the guy cannot be 1 or 2 or 3 years younger or older. So we decided to put every date from 1964 to 1967. Remember this, 29th of August 1970 is a Saturday. 29th of August 1972, this journalism, is a Tuesday. And Bini or Edo or Isa or people not born picking on Saturday called on Monday. It must be born on a Monday. So if I sit under a begi or I sit down there, they drink star, do the come on the Congo, chichi place there, Congo, they drink pepper soup, and then I'll write anything I like. You write what all everybody writes. You are no different. You are just part of the jet sound and the float sound. But I am telling you today, 29th of August 1967, hello, is a Tuesday. 29th of August 1965 is a Saturday. 29th of August 1966 is the only 29th of August between 1965 and 1970 that is a Monday. Looking at where a doorway, a toga song, and a kenuba lie. No matter how much hair you grow, everybody still knows where the eyebrow passes. And looking at Monday, it's not in 1977 again. How? No. But why is the PDP not pushing that and going to court? Because the Electoral Act, which neither anybody in the APC reads, and I don't expect them to read when their national youth leader is Kabaka. I don't expect them to. Is understand that? State youth leader. A state youth leader is Kabaka. Now, you may ask, why is Oshomole going on air to say Asue is not electable when he is the one pursuing a candidate who is perpetually unelectable? Because Oshomole is when you did novice, when you did do watch crime fighters. Hello? Yes, so what does he do when he does? He may not be aware that that is what he does. He just does profiling. For you to solve a crime and report that crime, you must do profiling. Like they do in CSI New York, FBI files. And what is profiling comes to our literature. Contest question. Who said? When was it said? Why was it said? To whom was it said to? With that, you create the character traits of a person. So if a man in 2016 read out a liturgy and a litany of accusations against his Eyamu, and then he comes back and does an automatic somersault and vote for say 4 years later, thinking that we are a race with short memories, and says exactly the opposite of what he said in 2024. And then in 2023, towards the end of 2023 and early 2024, he sits down and disparages Akpakomisa, and sits down and tells Edo people, I have chosen Dennis Idahosa. I don't get right to choose. We all forget that. And he impressed it on them that he must choose a man from Edo South. And a primary was held that brought out Dennis Idahosa. So if the same man, less than 3 months later, does an automatic somersault to call the man he called an illiterate, now the savior of our people, just 3 months later in Akpakomisa, I don't have to kill myself. I will rewind it and I will assume I'm a crime fighter. I did T for 2016. Now so it did T for 2020. Now so it did life for 2023. Now so it will now do for 2024. Thief when we thief now thief. Now the thief went thief 100, now he go thief 100,000. Who know they lie, not they lie. Who knows have been told truth can never learn the truth. Particularly when he is in the 70s. An old dog. Every judgment is a declaration. Every pronouncement of a judge, we can say it's a judgment. But what was there was Asue and the PDP went to court to challenge a change of proceedings in the court case that was brought by Jesua and Co. and Hadiza Omoro. In that court case that they brought up in March, they requested, they mistakenly filed an order of proceeding. What that means is, it is not incumbent on the court to summon for original copies. Let me explain. If I say now, say, you are not born, okay, like I allege now, say this man was not born on so and so, he's not born on so and so. But I did not say, I did not file for a writ of summon that will compel the person who issued the birth certificate or the wire result to bring the original. So they now wanted to variate that their entry, and then the court agreed. We disagreed, and we decided to appeal the granting of the request by the High Court of Motosho to change their proceeding to a writ of summon. That's what that thing was about. And then we now challenge the locus of the court and its jurisdiction to hear the case. But the High Court went ahead and heard the case anyway, and on the 20th and the 21st of July, passed judgment in Asue's favor. You all reported it. But however, the appeal court never sat over that appeal of March until the first week of August. And they now, in that, they are sitting over the appeal, declared that Omotosho had the locus to, one, hear the case, and two, agree for the change of the proceedings into a writ of summons. And Mr. Shomole junkets on national television and declared that the case they just won, it was a Pyrrhic victory. It had a consequence because what was passed as a locus judgment, giving locus to Omotosho had ab initio ensured had conferred on himself that locus and heard the case. You understand why Asue should be our governor. A man who, until December, when he resigned, was the chairman of Sterling Bank and maybe the largest fast-moving consumer good company in Nigeria, Nigerian Breweries. A man who was the chairman of the Nigerian Economic Summit Group, which means he must have his head tightly screwed on an economic level. A man who runs Albert, the second largest commercial law firm in Africa, and in sub-Saharan Africa, the number one, listed in Fortune's 500 with 125 plus practitioners, of which 5 of them are senior advocates. You have to look at it. For me, I keep telling people that Asue is a bit too rich to come to Edo State to steal, because the aggregate sum of his companies is almost twice the aggregate budget of Edo State.